Okay. That sucked. But it seems to be working a little bit better now. So we'll just give an opportunity for some people to re-enter the chat. So dang. Streaming's hard sometimes, guys. Streaming's hard sometimes. Anyways, so yeah, I just relocated. I'm now back in Playa del Carmen. So left Tulum, and I'm kind of in between. Our apartment isn't quite ready until the 15th, so we have a hotel until the 15th, and so that's where I'm coming at you from tonight. And after that, we're going to be in an apartment for at least a month. So hopefully I can get a little bit better set up. Yeah. Okay, cool, guys. I'm glad to see that we have some viewers back in. Right on. All right. Okay. Yeah, keeping it real. Life, man. It is what it is. All right, where were we? We were taking a look at Bitcoin. So let's just go ahead and drop down to the 8-hour chart on Bitcoin. Right on. Glad to see that you're here, intentional creations. So yeah, we're all kind of, if you've been tuned into the stream before, you know that we're all kind of looking at the same thing right now. You know, we're trying to break out of this level of resistance set by the new all-time high, the tentative all-time high, and we're just watching to see how this range develops. Now, this is not an uncommon structure. If we do in fact break out of this structure, it's not uncommon for these reaccumulations to simply meet a peak, come down, form a spring, and head back up. So there is quite a bit of strength in this rally. Some bearish indicators would be, we have a little bit of a bearish divergence on the RSI. So, what's occurring here is the relative strength of this rally is technically less than the strength of the rally that brought us here originally, but it's not a huge deal. We could just come down, possibly retest some of these lows in the middle of the range. I'm quite bullish on Bitcoin overall. There seems to be quite a lot of bullishness in the space overall. I mean, we're seeing some incredible runs in the altcoin space. So there's a lot of attention is coming into crypto. And when attention comes to crypto, these setups get more and more irrational. So I'm not exactly worried. We could come down and possibly test somewhere around the middle of the range down here if in fact we do need to come down, but don't be surprised to see a breakout too. If we get a breakout of this level, what we would then be looking for is just, you'll have our sign of strength, we'll get a little bit of a backup, but given how quick this tentative reaccumulation is, it won't be much of a backup, and we'll be off to the races, and we'll be looking at $76,000 in no time, anywhere from 74 to 76. I kind of like to go around those big even numbers, and there's a little bit of an overshoot or a little bit of an underperformance, but those big evens, there's going to be some supply coming in. So expect our next level of supply to be somewhere around $75,000. The supply area after that, we're thinking big psychological levels at this time. So 75, 100,000, potentially even 120,000. Although if we break 100,000 with commitment, kind of all bets are off, really. For those who don't know, there is actually an indicator that can kind of help you understand where you are in the market. For those who like to trade the macro swings, which I highly advise you to do, if you're new to this market, congratulations, you found cryptocurrency. It's a fantastic technology, but if you're just joining now, this is based on the data that we have today, as far as what has happened in the past, this is potentially nearing the end of the bull market. So be prepared to, hedge your bets and scale out of any profitable positions that you may hold at this point. But for those who are wanting to know where you are in the market, you can actually go to the BLX. This is the Brave New Coin Liquid Index for Bitcoin. This holds the most amount of price action in this asset. Like, it holds all of the history of Bitcoin. We can zoom out. I have it on log. logarithmic scale here. Let me just get rid of my pen. I don't need my pen anymore. Okay. Perfect. Yeah, so we're kind of on the logarithmic scale of this asset. Let me just zoom in a little bit. It won't let me zoom in. Yeah, if we go to the weekly, you know, the BLX is holding all of the information of the performance of Bitcoin over time on a logarithmic scale. And there is an indicator that you might find fascinating called the Bitcoin logarithmic growth curve. All you do is just go to the indicators and you type in BTC, and then just scroll down to the bottom basically, and you'll find it. Where is it? Bitcoin logarithmic growth curve and zones. It's a pretty cool indicator. Basically, you get a rainbow painted onto your chart, and it will tell you where the value of purchasing Bitcoin is and where the overheated conditions inside of Bitcoin typically are. So if we switch back over to the daily, let's just go to auto here. We can see that we are nearing the overbought territory, at least in terms of what this indicator is telling us, and as well with you know, the consensus overall throughout the market. You know, we've had a really incredible bull run thus far, and yeah, we're just getting closer to the red. We're getting into the red. If you bought the green any time in Bitcoin's existence, I mean, man, it's such a value zone. So going forwards, if you want to know when the best time is anytime you're in the green. So if you're a macro investor, if you're not so concerned about nailing the bottom or nailing your entry, and you can handle the volatility because you know if you come back in 3 years you'll be quite happy, then you know, consider this indicator because it can be quite powerful. Let's just catch up with the chat here real quick. Everybody's on Twitch. That's fantastic. I guess everybody from YouTube bailed. So thanks guys for coming back into the chat. Appreciate it. At least I think. Who knows? Who knows? Anyways, so yeah, top of this this indicator, by the way, is somewhere around $100,000. So $100,000 is kind of just it's such a psychological level. The entire market anticipates a lot of supply to enter at that level, and you know, because everybody's anticipating it, there's obviously going to be a lot of supply that enters. Now, whether or not we continue after that, we are going to have to take this level by level, and we're going to have to make our observations over time. Will I be scaling out? Yeah, I plan on scaling out at around $75,000. I plan on scaling out again at $100,000, and that's pretty much going to be my strategy. I'm going to make sure going forwards, anything above $100,000, I'm not carrying any real world risk. So if you have any credit cards that you've used to buy crypto, if you've taken out any loans, or if you're in a place in your life where you can kind of de-risk your day-to-day, like paying off a mortgage or anything like that, consider locking in that stuff before we even talk about you know, going to higher levels. But let's go ahead and talk about some of the other altcoins. So Ethereum has been just kind of boring. It's just one of those assets that we want to see continue. We want to see that bullish follow through, but it's just not. It's just really taking its time. So I'm not exactly sure where that sentiment is coming from, because Ethereum is just as valuable as it's ever been. Sure, the fees are an issue, but those fees are not going to be a problem going forwards. You know, with the launch of ETH 2.0 and the more recent and applicable implementation of EIP 1559, we really don't need to worry about the bullish case for ETH. Sure, there are a lot of competitors, but the Ethereum network is the largest and most robust out of all of them. We can take a look at the Bitcoin comparative on this asset, which seems to be holding up quite well against Bitcoin. Let me just go turn off log scale. And let's go to the 3-day chart, because there's quite a bit of data on this chart. We've been looking at this chart quite a bit. But yeah, so this must have been on the log scale. We don't need the log lines. Yeah, we're just looking to get our breakout. And when we finally get our breakout, I think that we're going to see some crazy price moves inside of Ethereum. Now, another thing that I want to talk about is a lot of people are asking, how do you choose which assets to buy? How do you make decisions when you're looking at kind of a basket of assets and you're looking to pick which one you should be investing in? And if you haven't used the compare tool, which is right here at the top, oh, you may not be able to see it in my stream, but it is a plus button. Right at the top toolbar, there is a plus button. And if you press that plus button, you can make some comparative analysis against different assets that may be in the same category. So let's do that for a couple. Let's go with Uni. So Uni is a decentralized exchange governance token. So we can go to Uni Tether, and let's go to the daily. Now, Uni's competitor is Sushi. So we can go ahead and click on the compare tool, and we can go to Sushi. Okay, so it looks as though Sushi has been outperforming Uni. Now, the common misconception where a lot of new investors look at something like this and they think to themselves, well, Sushi has gone up higher, so we just got to wait for Uni to catch up. That is a very common misconception. Basically, you want to buy the strongest horse. You want to buy the fastest horse. You want to buy the strongest asset of the bunch. So if you're looking at a comparative against Uni or Sushi, technically Sushi is the better buy. Sushi is the stronger play when we're doing comparative analysis. If we go ahead and take a look at some other assets, let's go ahead and take a look at what's another governance token for these DEXs. 1inch. So 1inch is really underperforming compared to these other ones. 1inch had a very nice run, but compared to Uni and Sushi, 1inch doesn't even come close. Let's pick another decentralized exchange governance token. I'm drawing a blank here. What are some DEX tokens? We can go ahead and go to CoinGecko. Let's go to markets. Let's go to categories. We will pull up the categories and we will go DeFi, or no, decentralized exchange tokens. There we go. Synthetics, Pancake. Yeah, let's go and do that. So we'll do Cake. Cake and SNX. Quick swap, sure. What is the ticker on Quick swap? Quick swap, quick swap, quick swap. I don't even see Quick swap. Where is it? Oh, there it is. Quick. You must be a BitBoy fan. Unfortunately, with Quick, I can't do the dollar comparative. It's only on the wrapped Ethereum comparative. But you can kind of get an idea here as far as which ones are good assets to invest in. And the two top performers in this asset class is Cake and Sushi. Now, does that mean that you go and buy these coins that have gone parabolic? Not without a significant pullback. Cake looks like you could get, I mean, a lot of these assets have gone straight up. So this is kind of like a fun way for you to determine, especially when you're range bound, when you're trading sideways, it's a good way for you to get on board with the performer that is doing the best. A lot of these have gone parabolic, so this is kind of just hindsight analysis, and we're just kind of, entertaining the ability of using this style of indication. But let's go ahead and take a look at a few privacy coins. So I have this chart here, or I had this chart set up before my stream crashed. Let's go. We'll make a stacked chart. Yeah, there we go. Okay. And this one will be Monero. We'll compare a few privacy coins. XMR, USD on the weekly. We don't need the log zone. So we'll stretch this out. Both are all three of these assets, Monero, Zcash, and Dash, all seem to be setting up in a similar way. They all are just coming out of their backup phase on their accumulation. So these are the assets that you really kind of want to pay attention to, is the ones that have gone through a multi-year accumulation and are just showing their signs of strength and holding a backup phase. A backup phase is kind of an SR flip after a very long accumulation phase. So we have three of these assets right here. So which one do you choose? Which is the better play to go with out of these basket of coins in this category of privacy coins? Well, what we can do is we can do the comparative against it. So let me just pull Monero down here, and we'll grab the comparative tool, and we will go Zcash, and we will go Dash, and heck, let's go Verge as well. Verge is a privacy coin, and this will give you kind of a good idea. Let's put Monero in there as well, just so that everything's aligned. Zcash, Monero. Where did Monero go? Monero is purple. Okay, and then I'll just turn the candles off so that we can see. So when you're looking at it this way, let me just get the volume out of the way. We can see, we have Verge down here. Verge is severely underperforming. I think a lot of people have kind of given up on Verge. I wouldn't bother with that. Dash and Zcash seem to be very similar in their price structure and their overall health in terms of the rallies and the reactions. But the real performer here is Monero. So the strongest asset out of this basket of privacy coins is Monero. So that can be kind of a really good way for you to determine strength and determine value, because you don't get to choose the value of an asset. The market gets to choose the value of the asset. So yes, this also has the highest market cap, but it's also performed the best this year. So don't be fooled by trying a lot of these crypto YouTubers telling you to buy all these hidden gems and all these like very unknown projects. When push comes to shove, you can buy quality at the right time and you can make a lot of money. So Monero, does it still have room to grow? Well, it hasn't broken out of its all-time high peak yet, and it seems to be gaining momentum. So I'm not sure that that this is over yet. So it's really going to depend on how long the bull market can continue, but yeah, we're going to have to see how that pans out. Okay, so I got a quick message here. So talking about Pancake looks to have bottomed against BNB. Be careful. Is BNB your alpha? Are you concerned about accumulating BNB? Hopper is a new privacy coin, potential gem. Didn't I just say don't find gems? But let's go ahead and pull it up. Let's see. HOPR. Die Hopper. Yeah, that's not going to work for this comparative. It's too new. But if we want to look at it, yeah. What was I doing? Guys, the beginning of this stream freaking threw me off. It's so shocking to realize how easy it is to get thrown off of your game. I have no energy. I'm sorry. I hope I'm being entertaining. I really do hope that I'm being entertaining. Yeah, Chili's is still going up. Chili's is crazy. Guys, don't buy Chili's. You know, wait for a pullback. Wait for a significant pullback. It's gone up 100% today. That's not your signal to buy. That's as a result of a long-term accumulation. Pancake versus BNB. My apologies. I'm all over the map here. So let's do cake BNB. Don't be sorry, guys. Don't be sorry. I should have given myself more time to really check the parameters of this stream. By the way, is it laggy? Did I fix it? Is everything tickety-boo? Is everything working fine now? It looks fine on my end. But yeah. Okay, so Cake versus Binance. It looks like we could, you know, it's not in, this looks like distribution to me. So I think that Cake could potentially have more downside when compared to BNB. This is not a very good chart to be looking at unless, like I said, you are counting your alpha, the performance of your portfolio in BNB. But yeah, I mean, we're falling into resistance, or we're falling into support right now. It's not looking like this is a bottom. No, I'm not seeing this as a bottom. It looks like it has a little bit more downside, and if we break through this, we could just keep going down with Cake. Down with Cake. Voyager token is looking like an interesting chart, Baloo. Not sure if you've looked at it yet. No, I have not looked at Voyager token. Let's take a look at Voyager. VGX. Let's pull it up on the 90-day. Let's see what we're looking at here. Looks a little distributional here. Quite a lot of volume and spread here. So that is VGX. VGX. Voyager wrapped Ethereum. That's not a very good chart. Yeah, you know, it's almost looking like the BNB chart compared to Cake. It's in a downtrend locally until we can start to curl up to the upside. I wouldn't be too bullish on this asset. The dollar pair didn't look great, and this one we need to see a curling over. Yeah, we can take a look at BNB. Okay, good. The stream is working dead. GRT dead? I don't think so, man. GRT just launched. GRT is a brand new project. Why would they be dead already? Bear market isn't even here yet. It's by the tip, right? Oh, man. What's going on, Tio? Nice to see you in the chat, man. By the tip. By the tippy top. Speaking of gems, SRK, the gems will trap you. You know, if you can find a gem, it's gambling, guys. Do you really want to gamble, or do you want to, you know, consistently build wealth over time? There's nothing wrong with taking high risk bets on cryptocurrencies, but how much of your portfolio allocation is going to that high risk bet? If 20% of your portfolio, or hell, if 5% of your entire portfolio is going to high risk bets, then what are you doing watching technical analysis channels? You are a gambler, and gambling's easy, man. Just throw your money at shit. It's easy. You don't need to have any skill set to be a gambler. But let's go ahead and take a look at SRK. Spark Point. Sounds sexy. Spark Point. 90,000% over the year. Jesus, that's quite an accomplishment. Is it on TradingView is the question. SRK. Spark Point Tether. Let's see what the extension is on this thing. Okay. Yeah, I mean, it's gone up. wait for a reaccumulation to occur. Wait for a reaccumulation to form. When you're chasing these charts that are going up really, really quickly, you need to know how to manage the trade aggressively. You need to know how to scale in. You need to know how to scale out. You need to know how to trail multiple stops because the volatility is so high. If you don't know how to do that kind of stuff, you are really leaving yourself exposed. At the bare minimum, you need to know how a stop loss works. So, you know, you can really get shredded in this market, especially if you're chasing big green candles. It can be profitable for a while, but you know, it's going to catch up with you eventually, especially when the market turns. It's going to hurt you the most because when the market turns, it goes down fast. It goes down very fast. Everybody rushes for the exit and everybody's left holding bags. So understanding where you are in the market is really, really important. That's why I encourage you guys to learn the Wyckoff method and understand how these market cycles work. You know, buy during accumulation, hold during markup, and sell at signs of selling into strength. That's key. That's what the institutions do. They sell into strength. They sell into strong news. They sell into bullish sentiment. They do the opposite of what most people in this market now are doing. They're doing the opposite of what a lot of people who are buying chilies today are doing. You know, you have to think you have to think contrarian to the herd. The herd can make money in the short term in a bull market, especially at the later stages. But when things go south, they go south in a very quick way. So just be aware of that. FTT. Yeah, let's go ahead and take a look at FTT. Anyone think the graph is dead? I don't think the graph is dead. Let's take a look at the graph after I take a look at FTT. So this is the FTX governance token, I'm assuming, for the centralized exchange, basically their version of BNB. I don't believe that FTX has, you know, any sort of decentralized exchange like Binance Coin does. Let's actually do a comparison against FTT and BNB. So they're pretty neck and neck. Binance has stronger rallies and lesser reactions. So between the two of these assets, technically, when we're comparing them side by side, you are better off holding Binance. But I think that, you know, FTT is an up and comer. You know, Binance was here in the last cycle. FTX, I really started hearing about FTX this cycle. I don't know if they were around last cycle, but you know, their exchange is beautiful. It's a really good exchange. They offer a lot of really complex derivatives options that are very much so in line with a lot of the offerings that exist inside of traditional finance. So, you know, their popularity may begin to blossom over time. As far as what is occurring this cycle and the performance that it is having this cycle, it is still not outperforming what's going on with BNB. And that's kind of a no-brainer in my opinion, just because BNB has Binance Smart Chain. You know, you need BNB to be able to operate on the Binance Smart Chain for fees, along with the discounts and yada, yada, yada that comes along with using the centralized version of Binance. So there's a clear distinction in the demand characteristics on that asset. But overall, like FTT looks great, and it looks like we may even be coming in for a backup on this trading range. So let me just kind of back things up a little bit. Let's go to our change of character right here at the previous buyer's climax, or the local buyer's climax. And let's just drag that across and open that up. Something like this, a little bit of a shakeout down here, shakeout, a little bit of a spring test, and now we had our sign of strength at the top of the box right here, and it looks as though we may come down for a test on top of the box. I think that that would be very healthy inside of FTT. And if you are looking to take a position on this asset, your best bet would be somewhere around the range of around $35. So $35 is an even number. So, you know, any of those even numbers, any of those psychological numbers, any multiple of 5, any multiple of 100, any multiple of 2, you're going to get psychological support and psychological resistance at those levels. So keep an eye on that. It looks like we want to come down for a little bit of a dip. We may even form a bit of a trading range on the top here as a bit of a backup, and then find the support that we need to gain gain confidence in the market participants to allow this asset to appreciate in value. So looks good. The setup is good. If you guys are interested in learning the Wyckoff method, I have a bunch of free PDFs. I mean, all the PDFs, they're available online for free. I've just gone ahead and curated them all and placed them all in one easy access space. So if you want to join the free Discord, there is a link down below on Twitch as well as on YouTube. You can just get through my security bot. You do have to verify yourself because we're in crypto and there's spammers everywhere. So I had to stop the flow of a lot of spammers entering my server. But yeah, you just basically need to link a Twitter account or just verify through YouTube, and you can gain access to those PDFs. Or if you don't want to go through all that trouble, just Google Wyckoff accumulation ranges, Google Wyckoff reaccumulation ranges, and take the time to you know, educate yourself in this market. Okay, the people behind FTX are doing serum decks on Solana. Okay, so they own the serum token. So that's interesting. That's a fun little piece of information. So, but that still doesn't drive the demand side of the FTT token, because with Binance, with BNB, you need BNB to operate the Binance Smart Chain. So I don't know, are they going to be using the FTT token as the native currency of that ecosystem? I'm not sure. Okay, Old Fish Tank is asking about PNF. PNF is kind of a big topic, especially to be covering in a stream. You know, I have people here to entertain, and if I start busting out a calculator and talking about numbers, we're going to bore a lot of people really quickly. Okay. Today's dip on BNB. So lots of people talking about BNB. Let's pull up BNB. I think I already, did I even look at that? BNB. So a little bit of a reaccumulation after decline. We're seeing this everywhere. We are seeing this structure all over the place, and it's nice to see confluence in the market because it can almost allow you to know when the bullish setups are going to get follow through. Like this looks a lot like what's going on with Avalanche right now. Actually, let me just pull up a comparative on Avalanche. Okay, well, it's a little bit, it's been underperforming on BNB. But yeah, that's a poor example of structure. I was kind of hoping it would line up a little bit better. Anyways, so you have this lower end of the range. So we have a downtrend, and then that downtrend transitions to a sideways trading environment. So there is a change of character somewhere around here. We can drag that across and open that up to the level of the automatic rally. And it looks like we broke out of that. Sometimes when you come in for a test on the top of the range for the backup, it will hold the top of the range entirely. If it does not, look for SR flips inside of the range and look for it to hold as what's called an LPS, what's referred to as an LPS, that is a last point of support. So for example, where you might find the last point of support inside of this range, we can see that we had a downside move here, consolidation, a rally, so there was a bit of a breakout move here. So there's obviously a resistance in this area. The resistance held support, held resistance. So we're going to just try and find that area and open it up. I'm guessing something like this, yeah. So if we can get an LPS somewhere on top of this area right here, you can see where all the support / resistance flips were on this resistance area, or now support. If we can hold this area as support, it looks like we wicked down to it. So we're going to want to just come and gently land on there. If we can gently land on there, form support, and then head out, that might be the LPS that we need to be able to be on the bullish side of BNB here on the perpetuals contracts. So that's what BNB is looking at. Well, I'm falling behind on the chat here, Okay, thanks, old fish tank. Yeah, reserve the PNF stuff. Just at me in the chat. The PNF is a large topic. We can cover it in the private, in the virtual classroom. So for those who are part of my private group, we do the virtual classroom every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday after the Twitch stream. So if you are interested in signing up for the virtual classroom, there are links down below. We have a trading group as well, and we are, it's a good opportunity to get one-on-one feedback or in real life feedback on charts that you're looking at. So if you're struggling on the analysis side, we can certainly help in that department. But I'm noticing a trend just in general inside of the market, and it's not a new trend. It's kind of the progress of a trader and the progress of understanding and learning technical analysis. And that's the false understanding that technical analysis can teach you which way the price is going to go. And this is just absolutely not true. 110% not true. Technical analysis does not tell you which way the price is going to go. So then what are we doing here? Why are we even bothering? Well, it allows you to identify support and resistance. It allows you to identify potential places where you can place entries, and it allows you to identify places where, statistically speaking, it would be advantageous to remove capital and remove profits. The entire point of technical analysis is for you to be able to come up with a strategy on how you want to trade the market. You hear this all the time, but I don't think it's getting through to a lot of people on what it means to have a strategy. Let's just use BNB for an example here. This is going to be a very short-term strategy. This might even be considered a day trader's strategy or an intraday trader's strategy, but here is a consolidation. So there's a cause being built. If I wanted to, I can do a PNF count on this accumulation, but I'm not going to bother, and I'm going to go the easy route, and I'm going to use a Fibonacci extension going from the high of this candle body close to the low of the spring. There's a couple levels that are very typical inside of the Forex markets for taking profits, and that is the 1.272 and the 1.618. We're also going to draw a line at the 1, which is theoretically going to be the point at a double top. So we have 3 price targets here. How are we going to build a strategy around this? Well, if the price is able to get back to where it was before, that is a potential area of a double top. So for this strategy, because I'm an intraday trader and I'm trading the shorter swings, what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually take 50% of the position once we reach this level. I am then going to allow it to get to the 1.272, and I am going to take 20% at the 1.272. Then I am going to take 10% at the 1.618. So that is going to yield me a remaining position of 20. And that 20% is what we call a runner. Now, this is just one example. This is just one strategy. But the point of technical analysis is to come up with a plan on entry. It is to come up with a plan on how to scale out. It is to come up with a plan on what you are going to scale out into. Are you going to scale out into Bitcoin? Are you going to scale out into US dollars? Are you going to use this money in the next week? Are you trying to make money over decades? Are you trying to make money over years? These are all questions that you need to ask yourself when you are trying to come up with a trading strategy. What often happens all too much in this market is you've discovered cryptocurrency, you feel as though you're late to the party, and you try to make as much money as possible very, very quickly, and you throw caution to the wind and just give her. And that can be a trap, because what ends up happening is you enter a bunch of assets with no plan. Zero plan. You enter, you're seeing green, you're seeing profit, and you're happy, but you have no plan on how to exit that asset, or you have no strategy in place that's going to kind of go along with what it means to be happy with your profits. So what do? Well, you experience the good times, and then you hodl, and you hold and you hold, and you watch the asset depreciate in value, and then you watch the asset go below your entry, and you blame it on a dip, and maybe you buy more, and you hold those bags through multi-year bear markets. So realize that if you're new to this space, if you're new to investing, if this is the first time you have been in charge of your investment portfolio, directly in charge of your investment portfolio, be careful. There's a lot of snake oil salesmen in this market, so you can really get burned really easily, and it all goes back to not having a plan. You have to have a plan to the upside, you have to have a plan to the downside. ZIL is getting nice. Yeah, ZIL actually is starting to look well, or starting to show a little strength. Let me see here. Guys, I'm gonna have to cut it a little short. I gotta get into the Zoom room here soon. But yeah, we're coming right back down to where we need to on ZIL. I already had this. So here's a short-term trading plan that I was going through with one of my students. Is he wanted to wait for the breakout of this trading range, buy the test, which it looks like the test came in absolutely perfectly. KG, if you're watching this, congratulations if you actually followed through with this trading plan, because nailed it. And he was okay with taking like a 25% position on Bitcoin. So exit the position with 25% on his Bitcoin, and boom, it's just been in a downtrend ever since he was able to exit that position. So you're not going to nail the top. Don't worry about nailing the top. You're never going to buy the bottom, and you're never going to sell the top. So don't even try. It's really foolish to even try to do that. What you want to do is just come up with a strategy where you can lock in profits and keep them, because you don't know what tomorrow brings. Can you look at Loot Utrust? I guess. UTK. This is one that I have bags of. I just held it because I didn't understand what I was doing, so I ended up holding a bag. But it's recovering. It's coming back from the dead. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, we're it's a very similar place that we're at. Sorry, permaculture, I'm running out of time. I'm not going to be able to take a look at RSR, but feel free to hit me up in the Discord. You are in my group, so I'd be happy to talk charts in the group. And I believe you are, yeah. Hit me up in the group. UTK, I mean, this is nice. I'm just going to keep this really simple. We're trending in the right direction. We're making higher highs, we're making higher lows. We have a beautiful line of support. Whenever you have that nice U shape, it's really showing a lot of confidence in the market. You're seeing a lot of buyers step in, flatten out the price, and we're trending to the upside. The next thing that we need to have happen is we need to break out of this level. So there's a level of resistance here. If we get a clear breakout, we will begin to really rally inside of this asset. So no worries inside of Utrust right now. Okay. All right, guys, I think I'm going to just wrap it up there. So I want to thank you all for joining into tonight's stream. My apologies that you had to do it twice. And next time, I think I will have different settings and it will be a lot smoother. It is what it is. Streaming can come with hiccups, especially when you change locations, change internet, and just unpacked like an hour ago. But hey, I want to thank you all for joining into the stream, and until next time, please trade safe. It's a jungle out there. Peace.
Welcome to my dream. It's good to see you again. We can kick back now. The show has reached the end.